Welcome back to another episode of The Middle East Tradesman with me, Paul Haddo, owner of Expat Group, co-owner of Expat Group Renovations, joined as always by my partner in crime, Joshua.
The exact same job titles as Paul, nothing different there. I'm not going to repeat it.
But we are very lucky today that I'm not only joined by Joshua, I am joined by Laure, our social media guru, who is here today to have a chat about her, how she started. We're going to find out some more information about you. And also you're going to referee mine and Josh's conversation a little bit, because sometimes we may repeat ourselves. Sometimes we may go off track. Hopefully not.
True.
So let's see how that goes.
Yeah, and this time I'm not behind the scenes. You can see me.
Yeah.
Last time I was behind the scenes.
So you need to be your normal self. Don't freak out. Don't pretend to be anyone you're not. Don't put a funny voice on.
I know I can't do anything. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna start with a question that we got in, because I put up a story asking if anyone has a question. First question, very serious. Who's the better golfer? No fence sitting.
I'd say Paul.
Oh no.
Took the words right out of my mouth. That's very kind of you to say so. But I was going to stop you mid-sentence and say we were meant to talk about you a little bit first.
Yeah, but I just wanted to put that in, because that's
So you wanted to
question.
get me and Paul, like, you thought you'd get me and Paul against each other first.
I thought so.
And then, I saw you coming. That's
that was a very cutthroat answer. Yeah. It was quick.
I think
I think...
Plays a lot more than me, that's why.
In fairness, I think we're about the same. I think we're about the same. But we haven't played golf together for a long time.
No,
I think we've got a game in next Tuesday, haven't we?
But
Josh is back on the golf course.
Yeah.
Slowly. The return is on.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think we're better if we team up rather than going against each other. So we'll buggy up and we'll beat whoever's in our way.
It worked for the business, so it works for golf.
Yeah. We'll
exactly.
put that right. So Laure, let's go to you. So you run a social media management company.
Exactly.
Do you describe it as a company? Or how?
I mean, I do say it's a company or agency, but then I always add in, like, it's just me though.
Yeah.
But I mean, for now, you never know. Maybe someday I'll hire someone and then I can actually say it's
agency.
a company.
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard to say it's a company or an agency when it's just one person.
Still a company.
It is, yeah.
Still needs clients. Still need bills to be paid.
That's true.
I remember I went to a Tony Robinson talk at the Coca-Cola Arena once, and obviously it's like a motivational speaker kind of thing. And one of the first things he did was raise your hands if you're a business owner. And at the time it was just me. It was just started the business. And I was like, I don't think I can put my hand up because it's just me. So I was really hesitant to do that.
I don't think you look at it as a business when you're by yourself.
No, because I always say that as a disclaimer. I'm always like, but it's just me.
But the most important thing to know is that it's probably the most important time to look at it as a business, because if you don't look at it as a business, then you don't learn the valuable things of paying a salary, saving costs to reinvest, taxes, all of that sort of stuff. So we had this conversation early doors that you can go out and do work and earn money and pay your rent or your mortgage and everything, and then you lose the business aspect. So you still look at it as you got all these clients paying you money, then you need to pay yourself as an employee, and then the rest of the money, that's how you can practice the small sort of ways that business work.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I think it's a business.
I think I almost tried to portray myself as a business, like I was working for the business when I was going around, rather than it just looking like me. I tried to make out like I was working for this company and I had all the proper paperwork and procedures and branding and stuff just to make it look like I was working for this company rather than it was just me. So it looked like a bigger outfit than it actually was.
I think it's so important though. We've had many conversations about that in that a lot of people can just go out and as a one-man band or a one-person company, earn and spend. The money that comes in is spent on their lifestyle, and it's such a dangerous place to be, because you just never grow, you never can reinvest or get bigger. You need to take a small piece of that money to pay yourself a salary, and then you live off that salary, and then the rest of the money is used to get the company going bigger. And I think you can get on that slippery slope, can't you, where if you don't do that, you just earn and live and earn and live and earn and live, and it just becomes a job.
You can't grow, yeah.
That's it.
So take us back to when you started. Obviously, we knew each other before you started.
Yes.
There's a bit of a sort of funny story there, really, isn't there? That we were it was Expat's office, but we were not at the size that we required the full office. So we allowed the company that you were working for to utilize some of the office space, and you happened to work there. We didn't know each other prior to that. So tell us a bit about that. It was a sports nutrition brand?
Yeah, they had supplements, collagen, and all of this. So I was doing their social media marketing management. So I was in-house with them for 1 year. And I was also working for another company that they knew, and my visa was basically under them, and they were being bought up. So they one day were like, oh, we can't afford you anymore because they are going to get someone else from the company they bought that bought them. So obviously I lost my job, but I was already thinking prior to that, like, oh, I should start my own company because I could take on more clients, earn more money, also do different things rather than just one brand. So I wanted to wait a bit to obviously have some savings to be able to start this without any stress. But then this just pushed me to do it. But of course I was a bit stressed about it. So I was crying at the office, and then I was having a bit of a discussion with my then manager, and when he left I talked to Paul, and he said one day they're going to need you more than you need them. So, and then he straight away said once we're bigger, then we'll get in touch and we'll hire you as well. And that's exactly what happened a few months later.
I can remember saying that, and I remember then obviously it was like maybe a year or two even when I messaged you going, hey Laure, that time's come now. We need someone. And I felt really like happy that I was able to like stay true to my word and then work with you in the way that we did.
Because we're coming up to 2 years now. I think you messaged me in August 2 years ago, because I remember I was home in Belgium when you messaged me. And then once I came back to Dubai, the three of us met.
Wasn't it? Yeah. The 1st of October we started. I always remember the date.
Yeah.
Always remember the date.
So it's coming up to 2 years, which is nice.
Did you always, like, because I know previous to that, obviously we know you was Emirates crew and that's how you ended up in Dubai and you then moved on from there. Did you always envisage yourself having your own business, or was it something that like when you was at the previous company, you kind of saw how it worked and thought, maybe this is the right time for me to do something, and that's when it got thinking? Like if you go back to the Emirates days, had that thought ever crossed your mind back then?
No. So I've never been someone that was thinking ahead of like, this is what I want to do in my life. So when I joined Emirates, that was my plan at the time. I was like, I'm just going to do that and then we'll see. I never even came to, a lot of crew, they came to Dubai saying, I'm going to do this for 2 or 3 years and then I'm going to leave. And I always came with like, oh, I don't know, I'll just do it until I'm sick of it and then I'll see what happens next.
Yeah.
And did you love social media back then? Was that in your mind?
So it wasn't when I started, but in high school, I studied photography. So I've always been very creative. And then when I lived in LA for a year, I did media and art. So there as well, we did screenwriting, we did videography. So we had some different aspects that we did there. So then when COVID hit and we weren't flying as much, one of my friends had a resort wear store and she was looking for someone to create content and manage their socials.
Right, okay.
So that's how I kind of rolled into that.
So this is really cool because when you think about COVID and the sort of like downside of everything and people losing their jobs and it not being a very prosperous time for many people, it's really nice to hear stories like that it didn't push you, it helped you transition into something better.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm lucky that my friend as well she always said like, you're so good at these things, like you should just do it. Because I was always taking her pictures and everything. So she was like, you can do it. So that's when I started doing that. And I kept doing that while I was flying because our hours didn't really pick up until much later. And then...
Oh, so you were able to cross it over a little bit.
Yeah, I was able to do both because when it picked back up, Emirates started doing like cargo flights first. So we weren't flying as much. Like we went from 100 hours probably to 60 hours per month. So you still had a lot of time. And then my body just had enough. So I was like, okay, I need to quit flying and do something more full time. And then I found the in-house job. Well, actually, no, I was a PA for 5 months in a production company, which was really fun as well.
Was it really?
I mean, I love the production aspect of it. That was really nice. I learned a lot. Like I was on a lot of cool sets. Like when Atlantis Royal was being built, we did the whole commercial with Tiesto and Tate McRae. And so I went there and saw the whole set before the hotel opened. So that was cool. But yeah, there was some negative sides.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine.
But I mean, worked with lovely people as well. And then after that, I was like, okay, I need to actually lean more into the social media aspect because that's what I enjoy doing. So I went on LinkedIn, found this job, which was with the startup, and they were willing to give me a chance because I told them as well, I was like, I don't have experience in marketing. I have experience in social media and content creation, but the marketing aspects, I don't really know. And they were fine teaching me on the job, which I'm very lucky that they gave me that chance as well, because I did learn a lot in that job and I really enjoyed working there. And then, when that came to an end, before that came to an end, I was thinking, I just want to do more. I want to work with different people. And at the time we were collaborating with another brand, and they asked me as well, like, oh, who's doing all your content for the brand? And I was like, yeah, it's me. And they really liked it. So then when that kind of came to mind of starting my own company, I reached out to them and I was like, right, I'm thinking about going on my own. Like, would you hire me to do the content? And then they were my first client.
Excellent.
So that's where that started.
Did that give you the final kick to do it once you kind of like almost secured a client prior to doing it?
I think,
was it done? Were they secured before you even like opened the company?
I was already talking to them and I was like, would that be like a potential opportunity? And they said, yeah, we'll definitely discuss it with the owners, because I was talking with the marketing person. And then obviously I lost my job. So at that time that was like, okay, I just need to do it. And all my friends and my family were like, you can do it. Like, you just, my dad was always a business owner. So I did grow up with someone who owned a business, and he as well was like, you can do this.
It's really nice to have that support, isn't it? But it's very easy to say it as opposed to, it's easy to say it to somebody else. Oh yeah, you can do it. You can do it, to give them confidence, which is lovely that you had that support. But then inside, you can always have self-doubt, I bet, no matter how good you are.
Yeah, exactly. So then when they confirmed it, then that gave me the confidence of like, okay, I can actually do this, and then I can just grow from there. But of course, at the start, you're stressed because you're like, what if I don't get any more clients? What am I going to do financially? I mean, I'm single. I don't have anyone else to depend on. So it's all on me.
And this is the risks that people have to take start businesses, isn't it?
I know.
And if you don't try it, you never know. So yeah, you're now here doing what you're doing and wouldn't look back or change anything.
No, it was honestly the best decision I've ever made. And I do think like the talk with you as well that day in the office really gave me more confidence. And then obviously the first client I had gave me a lot of confidence. And I'm just so happy. And my main thing as well was very much like, I want to be able to choose who I work with. I don't want to work with people who make me feel stressed out. Like now I've put up a boundary where it sounds stupid, but I think it is important. I made up a boundary where I was like, if a client makes me cry once, that's it. I'm not working with them anymore. because like that they make me like cry because they make me so stressed, and then I'm like, why? This is not worth it in the end, you know? Like I get to choose.
I don't think I've ever cried over a client. Have you?
I thought you just had. I don't think I've ever made Laure cry. Have you? And I was about to.
No, see, I'm still working with you because you never made me cry.
I've probably been close to one in particular, but that was. I don't think I've never gone back there, so I think I probably have the same rule that if a client did ever make me cry,
it's like why it's not worth it. Then it's not worth the stress for.
No, I mean, on the total flip side, you know, if we go through a severe time with a client and they're being completely unfair and unwilling to sort of work with us, and it's always difficult to go back, isn't it?
And try not to cry.
I
think if I did cry, I definitely wouldn't tell anyone either.
No.
So I could be
but
lying.
I'm a girl, so
you can.
I can cry.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, here's to, you know, hopefully not ever making you cry. And
no, I don't think you guys will make me
past
cry.
Or the future. Lots of laughs.
So then, obviously, that's a tough time starting up. What other sort of like tough times, challenges have you had, or would recent regional events have been the toughest time that you've had to go? Because I know, obviously, from friends, from us, one of the first things that people try to cut back on is advertising and marketing when the people aren't here to market to. Yeah. So I can imagine it was a tough time. Was that the toughest for you?
Probably. I mean, in general, when I lose a client or anything, that's always a bit tough because then I'm like, okay, I need to find someone else. And luckily, something new always comes. So I'm lucky with that. But this time, obviously, because it was so uncertain, and we didn't know how long it was going to last, that was very stressful because you're just thinking, oh, if it's going to last, then I'm just going to lose more clients, obviously. And I don't know what to do with that.
Did you find that like, was all of your clients on the same sort of wave as like cutting back? Or, because I know some people would actually double down on it, wouldn't they? In times of uncertainty, there's a lot to be said for actually, right, no one's here, everyone's left, let's restrict the marketing budget because we don't want to market to people that aren't here. But then on the flip side, there is still people here.
We need to try and capture the people that are here.
So let's go all in on marketing and flood the market so that everyone that's pulled back, we take over and get those clients. Did you see any of that, or was it more the restriction?
There's one of my clients, but they have a full-time in-house marketing girl. So obviously she can take over when it comes to the social media and the advertisement, but not with the content. But they still had enough content that I created. Sorry. So they completely said quite fast, they said, okay, we need to pause this. And they're still paused now, but we have done shoots. So that's their way of kind of like, okay, we get the content in, and then obviously they have someone that does the marketing so they can still put it out.
So is that more like just ad hoc now rather than on a retainer?
Yeah.
But did you have anyone that was like, right, we're going to double it up, Laure, let's go for it in that period to try and boost sales?
So I have one of my clients, they do pet relocation. So they obviously were doing really, really well.
But they were thriving anyway, not because they doubled down on social media advertisement or anything.
No, but then they were like, because we are doing so well, we want to put out more.
Take advantage of it,
Yeah. So because before we weren't doing as many posts because it was just so that when you go on the page, but now we really wanted to push and put more information out there as well so that they would stand out, because there's multiple companies, of course,
I suppose like thinking about that, even if they're so busy that they can't keep up, but they flood the market with advertisement and everyone knows about them because people are looking for pet relocation companies, that even after everything calms down again, that name is going to be prominent in your mind because they were everywhere when it was going off.
But
I think, you know, those and probably private jet charter companies were about the two busiest businesses in, you know, recent times that really obviously were flying through what happened here.
Yeah,
when
definitely.
everyone else was on the other way.
Did you charter your jet out?
No, I left it at the airport this time. Jet fuel was so expensive. I just thought it's just easier to keep it on the ground. I used it, obviously, but, you know.
But yeah, I mean, I think during that time, when we reflect as well, we're almost of the opinion that was probably the hardest time that we've had to go through as well. I mean, we, as you said, it was very uncertain. We didn't know what was around the corner. Clients dropped off. Some clients stayed. Some larger projects that we had continued, which was good.
Yeah.
So there were so many positive, negatives. Every day there was a swing in what was going on. But I don't think any of us realised the real extent of what the regional uncertainty was going to bring to everyone. I mean, we kind of had a bit of a heads up that something was going to happen, didn't we, a few days before? And we kind of brushed it off thinking, no.
You brushed it off.
Big time. I say brushed it off. I volleyed it down the road. Thinking,
I'll be like, that's not here.
It was very much like that. And yeah, I think that was the Thursday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it then started on the Saturday.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you were exactly when you noticed that something was happening?
I was at Roasters Coffee in Dubai Creek Harbour, having a coffee, sat outside with Ellie. Beautiful 28th February?
Yep.
28th February. Weather was perfect, like midday, early afternoon. Sat having a coffee and then bang, bang, bang. And it was like, and I was like, oh my God. Ellie had no clue what was going on. Hadn't heard anything. I hadn't mentioned anything to her. She said, oh, what was that?
I had no idea either.
Just carried on drinking. I was like, no, I don't think that's very good. Like, we might need to just
let's go indoors.
Do something here. Like, I'm not sure. And then phones start pinging, you start hearing more people, videos start getting circulated. And then it's like, okay, here we go.
Do you know what? What you just said there is such a big bugbearer for me of that social media and the WhatsApps and all that sort of stuff. And it's something that unbelievably the UAE was criticised for in other regions, but I think they made an outstanding decision to say you don't share news. It may be misinterpreted. It may even be fake. It may be AI.
Yeah.
And also you're going to spread fear, which is unnecessary because there was no need to. And obviously the punishments for sharing that or capturing that or whatever were severe, which was good because it stopped people doing it. Because we go back to that day. I didn't have a clue what was going to happen. Was over the table doing some stuff with my kids, and I live near an airbase anyway, so we quite often hear things going over top. But heard something very loud and very fast with a big noise at the end, and I thought that was strange. What was that?
It's weird how the noises stand out, isn't it? Like you're so used to noises, and then some noises you're like,
that was wrong.
That's not normal. I've not heard that before.
Yeah.
And you've lived in Mirror a long time.
Yeah. And then when the windows shake from the noise, you're like, right,
this definitely isn't right.
And the fear struck me immediately. And I even said to Laura, like, do we need to go? And she was like, no. I was like, right, okay, she's cool. So I sort of settled it down a little bit. But then you go on social media, you get the messages, and that wreaked havoc in my head. And I mean, I made a decision probably too late to come off of social media and just to try and ignore messages or anything that came through. And they did stop actually after the UAE, enforced that you don't share this sort of thing, you don't video anything like that. And that helped a lot. As I say, I think that was a great decision to have made. But yeah, coming away from that really helped me clear my mind a little bit, because we were having quite serious discussions about what we're doing as a business, how we're going to get through it, what does this mean for us. We didn't know any of the answers, but it doesn't help if one of us, i.e. me, is absolutely shitting myself.
Yeah.
And not sleeping and being anxious. And so, yeah, coming away from social media, I got prescribed some Xanax, which really helped sleep as well, which was awesome. But yeah, then that didn't help on that side of it. And that really bugged me the whole way through. Just, so even if there wasn't anything happening and someone would send a message, did you hear that? You're like,
that was the one that was, do you know what?
Yeah,
like,
that was the worst.
I wasn't as bad as you with the whole like sharing anything. I know it was affecting you, but that was the one that got me. And, all of us where we live, we're in either a community group or a WhatsApp group or something, and you're located in the same area by where you live, me in an apartment building, and you hear it in an apartment building and the chat. Oh, did anyone hear that? Anyone hear that? Well, yeah, of course you did. You might
the
live
alerts
like
as well. The alerts just would get me a lot.
Yeah, that noise.
First one in the middle of the night, like that, I just woke up thinking I was going to die.
that was,
and then I just like went into full panic mode because I was like, "What is going on?"
But we must also say at no point did I actually feel like I was really in danger.
No, it's just because we didn't know.
We didn't know
because
exactly.
I think because we're all from the UK, Belgium. Nothing like that happens there.
I never thought I'd experience anything like that.
Same. Because when it all started, I was actually on Kai Beach, and I was with a Lebanese girl, and my stepmom had already messaged me, and she said like, "Oh, is everything okay there?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" I mean, she was like, "Yeah, something happened in Abu Dhabi," and I was like, "No, nothing's going on here." Like that's the first thing I actually heard about it, and then we heard something, but all of us were like, was that like a construction thing? Because you don't know what's going on. And then the second one went, and then she was like, okay, I think we should just go home. But she stayed very calm. And then I started panicking, and she was like, yeah, unfortunately, like I'm used to this. So for me, this is nothing. So like, obviously, because we've never experienced something like this, for us, this is like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And for them, this is nothing compared to what they've gone through, because obviously in Lebanon, they do have to feel unsafe at certain times.
Yeah.
We luckily didn't have to really feel like we knew it wasn't targeted at civilians. We knew the UAE was really protecting us. Like obviously the things we were hearing is them protecting us.
Exactly. So, and I think it's really important to say that like we felt, incredibly safe because nothing was really happening around us. It was just noises at times.
It was, and it's just the uncertainty.
I think after the first or second week, like as you said, the government, how it was like instilled confidence, and the leadership was just incredible. Yeah. Like I got so much like safety from that that I just thought, if there's something going to happen or is danger to life here, we'll be told.
Yeah.
It will be communicated and we'll be told what to do and what the instructions are. And I knew that if that was how bad it was going to get, that's what it was going to be. And every time that the advice was to just shelter in place, stay calm, and you got used to it more and more. It's kind of like after 3 or 4 weeks,
it was used to it. Like it's like, but my body gets triggered by noises. So I'll hear something, I'm like, but me, I'm fine. Because even when there was a ceasefire and then there was a random alert, my first thought wasn't even like, oh, no, like I didn't feel unsafe. My first thought was literally like, oh no, my business was just starting to pick up again. I feel like now you think about it more as in like, because obviously it does affect tourism and it does affect, like some people do leave. So that's the only thing that was in my mind. Like, oh no, business.
It's a good point that when I say like I was shit myself and I was anxious, it was purely business-wise because it's our livelihood and we care so much. That's where that came from. But I guess like when we were seeing like His Royal Highnesses going for coffee and stuff like that down the mall, and you're like
walking around like,
oh, they're pretty chill.
Yeah,
and they're all here. Like
that one video of them walking around the Dubai Mall, like as soon as I saw that, I was just like, I don't know, it's just like, it's so weird how it can affect you, and you're like, okay. Right.
I mean, it could.
These are like the royal, royals, the sheikhs, and they're walking
like
around the mall.
Here. They're not like going anywhere. So I think
it could have been sort of like set up to portray and instill that kind of safety, but or that positivity. However, they did it on purpose because they wanted to show we are here.
Yeah.
There's no issue.
Yep.
This is calm. And it was, and we are where we are now. But on that sharing that information, what's strange is that when all the positivity is coming out of it and there's positive news about things happening and developing in a good way, no one's sharing that information. No one's saying anything. It's just the drama and the negativity, which is a real shame, and it's a bad thing, and something that maybe we need to all sort of like train ourselves to avoid from social media. Yeah,
share destruction and scary videos rather than being like, oh, there's great talks going on. It's looking like why are we not like flooding that to each other?
Yeah,
like you say.
Yeah, that's what when people were like, oh, they're saying it's going to start again or something. For me, I was like, no, like it's getting better. Like I was really trying to keep a positive mindset as well, because I was like, the thing is, no one knows. So why are people speculating?
None
saying,
of us are experts.
This is going to happen. Like for me, I'm just like live in the moment and try to make the best out of it.
If you're an expert, then you would have known prior to this, because you would have been up to date on your regional politics and everything that's going on. When maybe we all need to be a little bit more, so we can understand the region a bit better. Maybe we can take that from it. But yeah, I'm just super happy that we live in this region and we can continue doing business onwards and upwards.
Yep.
I was going to ask, I remember we talked about this when everything was happening, because business-wise for Expat Group, I remember saying like, okay, but people obviously still need their AC service. There's still leaks probably, because then I think it even rained at some point. And I remember like, how is it then impacting your business more? And I think you said something more about like that it was because obviously there was distant learning, and I think families were more in the house, and that was a big thing that impacted it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people did leave the region, so then your audience is now reduced. And then of course, with the children being at home, nobody wants workmen in the house, ladders around and all that sort of stuff. Totally understandable. If I'm organising things around my house in a similar way, I'm also going to try and time it when my children aren't there. It makes sense. You totally understand it. So there's that aspect as well. There's also the other aspect of, obviously, we do a lot of installation works for air conditioning systems. People weren't sure if they were going to stay, if they were going to go, if they were going to lose their job or not. So therefore, they don't want to reinvest in their property because it may be a complete waste of money.
We had several jobs cancelled, didn't we? With the reasoning of because of what's going on, we're going to wait. And it was like,
it's fair enough.
Yeah,
it's
understandable. But I think another thing to add to Paul's point there is the time of year that it happened for us as well. We were so lucky in the time of year that it did happen, that it wasn't in October or November, because that would have been, a very troubled time through the winter period. However, when everyone left, it's March, it's still spring weather. It's not deep summer by this point. So,
our business cool for a long time this year.
And our business thrives off the hot weather, being predominantly an air conditioning company. So you mix all those things together, and it makes it a very tough environment for our business to do what it needs to do, every day. March is a quiet time for us anyway. So you then remove a load of people from the population, and the fact that the sun isn't baking and it's raining and all the kids are at home learning, there's not a lot of people that want jobs doing. So we had to get really creative, didn't we? And I still remember, we were doing everything we could to follow up on jobs and leads, and, getting involved on messages and speaking to our customers directly on the phone and offering any solutions or advice that we could do ourselves, just to make sure that we are trying everything we can to do the best we can in this period. And I think we did, not to blow smoke up our asses, as to say, but I think we did very, very well during that time.
Yeah.
And I was really proud of the way we sort of coped with it and reacted to it.
Yeah, I mean, when we met in that coffee shop that day, and I was absolutely shitting myself, as I keep saying, if someone had a crystal ball and said, but Paul, by mid-June, this is where you're going to be, I'd have been like, oh, okay, cool, right, I'm going to relax then. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not and that was... Having said that, it put pressure on me to then be like focused and work hard to make sure that we come out the other side. So perhaps without that focus and hard work from both of us, we may not have been where we are mid-June, but it's comforting now to look back and be like, do you know what, we did the right things where we needed to. Everyone's still employed, everyone's still got their salary, and we're out the other side, and all those people that were holding have also all now said yes at the same time, and we are super busy. I mean, the issue that we have now is the parts and deliveries and stuff like that is a challenge.
Suppliers
at the moment. So
I think we didn't feel that. We've gone from like the work not being there and a surplus of material ready to be installed to now all the people are now making the decisions on, yes, I want that doing. Yes, I want that install doing. Yes, come and fix my AC, do all of this, which probably every other company is feeling. And all the stock is now being, used on in jobs.
Yeah.
And it's not coming in quick enough, as we know. And, we spoke about this with you, that the creative ways in which we're having to get material. I know you've got a story about the AC units the other week, but water filtration systems. We have pallets stuck on a in a shipping container somewhere in the sea, and all we're being told is 60 to 90 days. They should have been here last month. So that's the effect we're having. We're having to overcome that by shipping pallets of filters from Italy on Emirates flights into Dubai.
Oh, wow.
Which takes around 7 to 9 days from order and costs a lot of money. So these are the kind of battles that we're now up against, that all the people are here and they're like, yeah, come on, we want to spend money with you. We want to spend money with you. And we're going, well, we haven't got any parts. So we're now having to get creative in the way that we're getting the parts so that we can now serve all the customers and, come through the other side of what we've been through at the start of the year.
But that's nice. At least you're doing you're going the extra mile to still get it to your customer.
I think you have to, though. Yeah, we've had such a tough start to the year that now we've got the customers that want to spend the money.
Yeah.
We need to make sure we're doing everything we can. So
I mean, this AC job that we just touched on there, we obviously never ever want to let a customer down, and there was a very tight time frame that we had to get a job done with a certain capacity of AC units, and then at the last minute another one came in as well. So now we had to get all this equipment. Was already stressful to try and get a supplier to commit to delivery dates, and they just couldn't, and then we had to add to the order. So I ended up purchasing all of the same equipment and paying up front from another supplier just so that we had 2 chances of getting the equipment there on time. And that's just out of our pocket just to make sure. I mean, if both deliveries come, we have it in storage, we're going to install it somewhere else. So we have that safety net. However, that's the sort of level we were willing to go to have an expenditure of double just so the client had 2 chances of getting the equipment there. And we didn't. So then I had to go to a third supplier. Had to go to a third supplier and pay for it again. So we had triple the cost on one job, but we got the equipment there on time. And fortunately enough, other jobs have since approved and we have equipment coming in. So we solved that. But it's just like a complete juggling act because the suppliers can't guarantee how long it's going to take them to offload all of their equipment in Fujairah, Corsican, because these ports are much smaller than what they're used to using, and it just takes a bit of extra time and no one knows. So it's a real juggling act. But
I do think going through this as business owners and not giving up, I think people that thrive through it still will thrive from now because it made us more resilient.
It was one thing I was going to say, when we was touching on the conversation we had in the cafe just before we moved on there, but I think that time there when we was that was probably one of the lowest points in the conversations we were having, were conversations I never thought I'd have.
Yeah.
Never thought I'd have to have. Didn't prepare myself for that sort of, level of conversation we were having. But at that point, it's so easy to bury your head and just try and go away or make the problem go away. But you have to face it head on. And it's not nice. It's a horrible time and it's stressful. And as Paul said, he wasn't sleeping. He's getting prescribed Xanax from the doctors to sleep. That's like the
got
joys.
The idea from you.
That's true. I put him onto that idea. That's my fault.
This is running a business, and
true.
you can't just put your head in the sand and hope that it goes away and you wake up through the other side of it. You've got to brainstorm. You've got to get creative. When all of your staff are there relying on you, you can't run away. You can't fly out the country and go, I'll come back in a few weeks when it's all settled down. You need to lead from the front.
No,
and especially in a small business like ours, you can't do that. You've just got to muck in, be seen to be doing everything you can, because then your team and your employees sense that energy and do the same thing.
And they did go the extra
100%.
mile. The girls in the office are doing their extra bit to try and get jobs in.
Everyone did.
Offering value for money, adding discounts where we needed to keep the work going. The guys are putting in extra hours, working extra Saturdays if we need to, just to keep that going.
Yeah, because I even, at some point, my family, especially my dad, was like, shouldn't you just come home? Won't it be better? Just come home and make it until it calms down. And me as well. I was like, I can't just leave. Like I have clients. I can't just be like, okay, I'm gonna go now. Like I have clients that I have products to shoot. I can do that from anywhere. But I have my clients here, like you guys. I have to be here to shoot my content. I can't just leave on a limb. Like
exactly the same for us.
Yeah,
if
you
you
feel a
have
sense
travel,
of responsibility. Like
exactly,
like
you can't.
I would, there's nothing more being selfish in the middle of it that I'd have thought. Get me on a flight back to the UK. And I'm going to sit over there and I can work. I can take phone calls. I can do what I need to do. It's not going to be great.
We had offers of going, like, obviously we can go to Laura's mum's in France. We can go to Laura's dad's in Florida. I had offers from family members for a place in Austria. Could go home to the UK. And you get these offers and it's almost like people are expecting you just to sort of be like, oh yeah, God, thanks. Yeah, we're going to get out. But it's like, I can't leave.
Yeah.
No, also, and I didn't want to leave.
Why would I leave? I don't feel unsafe. Number two, we're running a business.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah,
run
you
away
can't
from
just
it.
go.
What message does that send to your staff?
Yeah.
Like if us two cleared off, I'd probably find it harder to sleep knowing that I cleared off and left the staff here to figure it out than being here and like
I
and
don't know.
leaving
I mean,
it.
if I cleared off, maybe you all would have gone, oh, thank God for that.
Yeah, maybe.
Right, we'll get some work done now.
At least there'd have been plenty.
Maybe.
At least the Xanax supply wouldn't have run out in Dubai.
Yeah. So on a more positive note, so it seems obviously everything has settled down, right? Like, I mean, that's what we know. So what are you most excited about for the second half of the year? Because obviously now renovations is picking up. So maybe tell us a bit more about how that's been going.
Yeah, I mean, renovations was like, we've touched on it in previous podcasts, but we decided to start that back at the start of the year, which was a great idea at the time. Yeah. And then, 2 months in, we got really fortunate that we pulled our first renovation project quite early and working with the client there. We didn't know what was going to happen with that. That was an uncertain time. British family just bought their house. They're pumping money into a renovation for it. They've got a mortgage to pay on it. They could have pulled the plug on it and said, let's pause. So we got that aspect of it as well. But fortunately they didn't. They're a great family and they've gone full steam ahead with that project. And, we're really now sort of past the turning point of that project and it's starting to go back together, which is really cool. We're doing, some other small renovation jobs around the communities that we want to be working in, which is a really positive sign as well. So we're just looking to build on that as time goes on. We knew it was going to be a slow sort of year to first 2 years. Once you get projects under your belt, projects mean projects and word of mouth goes round. But for me, like I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into another project and also getting this one to a point where we can hand it over. I really am looking forward to handing it over to the family and sort of seeing them move into their family home. I'm really looking forward to that just from a sort of satisfaction point of view. But yeah, I think aside from that, on the maintenance side of the company, it's like getting back to, I want to say normality, if that's the right word, but I think we've had a really good couple of months post the conflict already. And I'm just so grateful that we sort of got that out of the way at the start of the year. Yeah. And now we have all of the summer and into the back end of the year to sort of recoup and get back on track and get everything back going again.
Yeah, because summer is like a very peak season for you guys, right?
It is, yeah. Yeah, we obviously, as a business, make most of our money in the summertime and then it's our low season in the winter time. So had this have happened at a different time of the year, it could have been a complete different outcome for us, couldn't it?
Yeah, no, fortunately in that sense. Yeah, no, I concur with everything you're saying there, like the excitement of finishing off the renovation projects that we have. We've recently finished one in Meadows. That looks lovely. We're looking forward to getting that videoed and out on social media as well so everyone can see what we've done. And yeah, just pushing through and trying to beat last year's targets. I think if we can beat last year's targets in the start that we've had, then I'd be so happy. And we've done a lot in the last couple of months to get us back on track and almost beating last year already. We have a lot of work to do, but yeah, it's looking really positive. So yeah, it's good.
3 months ago, that was something that we didn't think was possible, didn't it?
Everyone works better under pressure, as we always say, and we're feeling that pressure and enjoying it.
Yeah, because obviously the main thing why Expat Group Renovation stands out is because obviously you have the MEP experience.
Someone asked me the other day, Paul, you keep mentioning this word and I don't know what it is. It's like PMI or BP, but what is it? And he was thinking. Then he was like, MEP. Yeah, what does that mean? I was like, mechanical, electrical, plumbing. So we're talking about all your air conditioning, all your waterworks, drainage, electricity, lights, automation, all of these things. That's what we're abbreviating it to. So it was in my mind that the next time we use it,
I'll put it in brackets in the caption so people know.
You should pause the video and then just put in brackets mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and then carry on again.
And by the way, this came from an aviation engineer, and I think you'll probably know who that is.
Okay, yeah, I know those.
Shockingly, yeah.
That's so funny. That's how when people ask me, like, what's UGC? And I'm like, oh, yeah.
I had to,
I
didn't understand that. I didn't understand that.
But so obviously, that's your biggest point is you have all the MEP experience, because I think we've been to a house before where the people hired someone to do their MEPs and they just reused old
all the time.
Pipes and stuff,
all the
right?
time. And this is one of the reasons why we were like, we need to get into renovations, because we're working on so many people's other projects, either while it's being done and helping other renovation companies do all of their mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and air conditioning. So we're like, well, we're helping these guys and their reputation because of their quality of work. As we said before, if you get everything behind the scenes right, it gives you a tap in for the finishes. So we had that experience, and we also had the experience of, as you mentioned, going to people's completed villas who've just done a renovation and then saying, yeah, I've done this renovation, but AC's not working, I've got a bit of a leak there and there's a smell coming from here. We open up the ceilings and we're like, your house looks lovely. Above the ceiling and in the walls is 20-year-old equipment. And that's the thing that gets missed. So that renovation probably would have been cheaper than our price, but now they're paying again to do everything, rip open the ceilings and go through it all again.
Remove all the ceilings again.
So this was one of the key things, and this is what we're really enjoying on this huge project that we got at the villa, is getting all of the we're going there after this job as well. After this podcast. This is not a job. This is fun.
It is a job.
And so that's what we're really enjoying, and getting that all perfect. And to a lot of people, it might seem boring, but thankfully, we're the people that love it and enjoy getting it absolutely right, so that when these walls go up, ceilings go up, finishes go in, we've got absolutely peace of mind that there's not going to be smells, there's not going to be leaks, the AC is going to be fantastic, and we can sleep at night.
Yeah, and I think it's also important to kind of put it out there that both of you and Mark are on site quite a lot, checking that everything is going really well and that everything is correct, because you never know either when you hire a renovations company, you don't know if is management even involved, or do they just let the guys do everything, they don't check anything. I've been there with you guys and you double check everything, and every time we are there to film something, we will, and you are telling them do this, you're checking if everything's okay.
I think
absolutely.
It's such a critical time of the project right now as well, because a lot is happening quickly.
Ceilings are about to be closed, aren't they?
There's, you've got your initial demolition phase, which is smashing the hell out of everything and knocking walls down, building walls. But then after demolition, and when your MEP goes in, the AC units, all the new pipework for the bathrooms, drainage relocations, all of that happens really quickly. And you have to be at that point on site daily to check what's happening. If you miss 3 or 4 days, you might miss everything that's gone up and the ceilings have gone in, and then you have no idea what's above there. So that's how quick these projects move. And obviously speed is of the essence. The quicker you get it done, the quicker the client can move in, and you can hopefully hand it over ahead of the timeline. So it's super critical that we are there. And as Paul said, we're going there after this because we need a lot of the AC bits final check-in before the ceilings go up and it's closed. We don't want to be putting those ceilings up and then 6 months later, something wasn't checked or something wasn't done. So it is really important. And then once the ceilings are up, then a lot of it then is sort of finishing. You've got tiling and joinery, ceilings, painting, flooring, all of that stuff can go in, which still needs, a lot of management, but this is the critical stage, because once this is finished, you can't see what's gone on.
No. Yeah.
At least when your tiles go down, if there's a problem, you can see it. If the ceiling isn't quite right, you can see it and fix it. But once it's all covered up, and this is usually what happens, isn't it? It all gets covered up. It's not a problem. Walk in the house, it looks stunning. Lights are perfect. Joinery is amazing. Kitchen looks insane. But then you get a leak, or then the AC doesn't work. And then that's when you have to start investigating.
Yeah, I think as your content creator, the most exciting part for me is going to be when the joinery goes in, because then I can show the people the pretty stuff. Because obviously I do think it's nice that we're showing them what is happening behind the walls, because it is an important part that most people might not even really consider when they're renovating. But then, of course, people want to see.
That's why we're trying to get it out there now, so that people that are thinking of doing a renovation will have that in mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if they don't use us and they've now have information that they can take forward, is going to help them.
Exactly.
I think the end of the project will, I mean, you've seen the renders and we've posted a few of them.
That's beautiful.
And, the joinery, drawings are starting next week. So that's going to go into production soon. And I'm really looking forward to that. And I have a feeling that I think, if people are watching and potentially thinking about a renovation, they might be waiting anyway. But also I think a lot of people will possibly wait to see the outcome of the product that we finish.
Yeah.
It's one thing smashing a villa to pieces and putting some pipes in the wall, but that's great. But then what does it look like at the end? So I'm really looking forward to getting the product done so we can show it off to everyone and show that it's not just the quality behind the walls, but also the quality that you can see as well.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that as well. So yeah.
I'm filming you right now.
Oh well, yeah. Paul got meta glasses.
If you can't tell, yeah.
So now I'm going to be receiving content from Paul every 2 minutes. He'll
Absolutely.
be like, here's some new stuff for you.
I already feel sorry for you.
He's going to be like, I've got a day in the life for you now. And it's going to be him putting on his moisturizer in the mirror.
Just hope he doesn't share any videos of him having a wee or anything over the toilet.
Ages.
Oh yeah, we did have that one sound. I can put the sound over it. We once mic'd up Paul and Josh, and Paul went to the bathroom at the golf course, and then Josh's mic stopped working, and all I heard on the video was psst.
I was talking to the sound of Paul peeing in the toilet.
Yeah. That was funny.
Lovely.
Right, that was a nice...
Yeah. It was good. God, it's gone quick.
Yeah, I know. It's gone so quick. I think we can always just chat for hours, isn't it? Sometimes when I visit the office, I just stay there for 3 hours.
True.
Come in for the social. Well, let's wrap it up there then.
Yeah, but no, it was lovely to hear more from your side and recap on that story about how it all started and everything like that. That was really nice. And hopefully anyone that listens and thinking about doing it themselves, it inspires them and gives them a little bit of confidence to make that leap and go for it.
Thanks for having me as well.
Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure. We're going to go check out that renovation now, aren't we?
Let's go have a look and then go and do some proper work after that.
Yeah, nice one. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.